Okay, this is pretty unscripted video that I'm going to be doing now. I've been meaning to do this for a while. I wanted to wait until it felt kind of right to do this, and I think the time's sort of come for me to put this out there, and it's just sort of part of my healing process, I guess you could say. And I guess it's something that I uniquely want to share with people. More so the people that are actually in my life. Something I really want to share with. But this is sort of on the surface out there for someone who, from human to human, experiencing life, trying to understand the world around us. Basically, I've made a few videos, but I never uploaded them. Just over 3 months ago, my dad died, and it was pretty epic, and it still is pretty epic. And I speak to you right now, I've got a stomach bug, and I'm feeling sick, and I'm supposed to be working, and I wanted to make a video while I'm in the middle of all this. I didn't want to do it afterwards and be like, hey, this was after everything happened, and that's not how I'm feeling anymore, and this is what I gained, and this, I don't like that after the fact videos. I think if you want to be honest with people, here it is. So what happened was I worked with my dad. We worked together. We ran a small business. I worked part-time pretty much. And, my family's in debt because of it. And since he passed, it's been it's been a big mess, to say the least. And I have had to run parts of the company because all the people that work there left, basically, and there was only 2 other people. And my auntie's helping out, and she's amazing. So, and my family's helping out. Like, I've got other family and some of my dad's friends that have helped out, which the company would have kept going. We would have had to have closed down and liquidated if that didn't happen. But I sort of lifted up to the challenge, I guess, and took up the task of running things, even though it's not something I want to do. It's not something I'm passionate about. It's something I really struggled with working there because I never actually felt my heart was in it apart from... I found it after my dad died that I was doing it because of him, because of my love for him, basically, was why I worked there, which was good enough. That was a good enough reason to do it. I supported his vision. He had a huge vision, and I wanted to work for him in it. But since then I haven't had much of a chance to deal with everything properly because I've had to do this full time, and it's taken up most of my energy. And then in my spare time, I've either been exercising, working out, which I get great pleasure from, playing guitar, or socialising. But I'd mainly say socialising. That's pretty much where I've really felt I've needed support, is with people and friends and family, and just spending my time with people. I'm a verbal processor, so talking with people can really help. But it's a mess. I don't know what to say. I'm dealing with this now, and the situation at hand, because of the debt, and we don't know what's going to happen in the future in terms of the rest of my family and the house, because the house was collateral for the loan. So it's just part of the reason why I'm still doing it now. It is the reason why I'm still doing it now, because of the debt. So, and it's hard to... I'm finding it now, it's hard to be persistent when you're trying to look at the big picture constantly. I'm constantly trying to look at the big picture, because all I want to do now is just stop everything, process everything that's happening, travel, finish my albums, work on I just want to work on music. My passion for music. I went on tour, a mini tour with a friend of mine, which was awesome, which was a great distraction in the midst of it. This was a few months ago, like probably 6 weeks or so after Dad died. You know, we went on tour and I had to learn the set and go on. So it was awesome fun. Just a great time. Met awesome people. Had a blast. I hope I get to do it again with the same people. But yeah, like I guess when you're doing something every day that you sort of don't want to do, it's hard to explain, because it's like basically it took up all my energy and all my time, and does, and you know, by the end of the day, when someone's on the phone asking me some sort of question about work, I sort of think I don't care. You're asking me all this stuff, I don't care anymore. Like, I want to deal with all this, but you're having to constantly be challenged and think, you know, it's not going to be forever. It's not going to last much longer. You know, if I was in a position to not do this, then I would. At the same time, I am choosing to do this. That's something you can't victimize. I'm really trying not to victimize myself in this and be like, oh, what you do? It's why me? But I'm choosing to do this. I could stop. I could. There'd be consequences if I stopped, but I'm choosing to do this, at least for the meantime. Very challenging, and I guess the things that I've struggled with during this time has been full massive mental blank right now. The thing that I struggle the most with, I guess, purpose, because it makes you question your purpose. Like, what am I doing? You know, why am I doing this? Especially when something takes up all of your time. It's more the time factor. You see, if you had like a part-time job, or you did something or you weren't as involved, say, you know, it was just a job you did and you got paid well, and you know, yeah, it doesn't take up all your life, and you get money. Oh, you know, you wouldn't even think about these things. But you know, I like to challenge myself. This is what I was going to say. So, I didn't realise how strong I was until this situation arose. I honestly didn't think I'd be able to handle everything that's happened. I was very close with my dad. You know, I worked with him for the better part of 4 years, every day. You know, I miss him terribly, and I don't even know how to process that yet. You know, and I'm trying to support my mum through this as well, and obviously, you know, the company and other things that happen. I'm not going to explain everything that happened, but a lot of things happened to do with the company as well. That it's just been an absolute disaster with other people involved. True personalities coming out, I guess you could say. You know, when money is just the number one factor. It's kind of sad that that's the world we live in. That's another thing I've been thinking about a lot lately, is why do we live for the dollar like this? Why have we got a system? There are pros and there are cons for this system, you know. I think there definitely are pros. There are pros. You could be, you know, as much of a left-wing anarchist you want to be, but there's pros for the system we live in. We've got medicine, you know, we can live comfortably in a Western society. Freedom of speech, you know, there to a degree. This is, I mean, I don't want to go all philosophical. This is not what this is about. Okay, so, I don't know, I guess, you know, my mum had an emergency operation like a few weeks ago, and that was a big shock, because it was sort of like, that's when I almost hit my limit, taking her to emergency room, and she ended up having a gallstone, and I just remember freaking out that night. It was just like, I was just like, I can't handle this. This is too much now. Like, before it was too much, now this is too much. So, you know, I've really been challenged. Like, my biggest challenge in life was overcoming agoraphobia a few years ago, probably about 4 or 5 years ago, which I'll share one time on this. Like, I really want to make more videos. There's so many things that I want to talk about that I think would be really cool to talk about, especially about religion and my own journey with spiritual beliefs, and the amazing people that I get to talk to about this in my life is just amazing. Yeah, so I guess this is just a little shout out. This is sort of the beginning of where I'm at now. I just felt like the time was right. It's been about, what are we, September? It's been 3.5 months since it all happened, and I don't know how to deal with this. Like, I'm still learning how to deal with this, and I don't have any answers for it. Apart from the fact that you've got to be honest with yourself. I think that's another big thing I've learned, is you've got to be honest with yourself if you want to grow. I guess that's become more apparent now because I'm choosing to ignore a lot of things to cope. And I know that's what I'm doing. I'm ignoring things. Just, I don't care. I'm going to ignore it because I want to cope. And I think that's how we work. We will do what we know best to be able to cope with the situation, and sometimes there can be immediate benefits for that. Sometimes long term there can be bad things can come of that. And I think growth is one of them. I think, and I want to grow. There's so many areas in my life I need to grow. And I guess a friend of mine said something, and I've been thinking about this so much. It's just been so apparent with some of the situations that I've been in. But basically it's, if you feel entitled, it's impossible to have gratitude. And it's so true, and even in this time, I'm trying to find ways to be thankful, for what's happening. And in every situation, I try and look for something to be thankful about. I think that helps heaps. I've also been trying meditation. I don't know what it's called, awareness meditation. There's a guy called Dan Siegel, and I recommend checking him out and his meditation. And it's just a model to be self-aware. It's not like, transcendental meditation or something like that, where you forget, you focus on your breathing. You start the same, but then instead of coming back to the thought of your breath, once you start, your brain goes somewhere else. You let your brain go somewhere else. That's the point. So you get to experience, and it's okay to. It's not like you're trying to clear your mind. It's actually going with any sort of thoughts and feelings, and actually feeling. It's not a bad thing. Whatever it may be. So that's been, very helpful. There's a few things that I found really helpful with the stress, because I've been under a lot of stress, and I've sort of been forced to do these things to cope. So I'm sort of searching out things that can help, and you can be in these situations and cope. Whereas I guess in the past, definitely 4 years ago, I would have fallen in a heap in this situation. But I'm strong. I actually am strong. I'm a strong person, emotionally, physically, and maybe not physically, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, just try and stay positive. I guess I'm speaking to myself now. Just stay positive. You get to choose your perspective. You do. You really, really do. Life can suck, and you can question things. I think questioning things are great. I've been questioning everything, even more so now, which I'll get into in other discussions. A few revelations, I would say. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't have much else to say. I just wanted to sort of put this out there as sort of the beginning of talking about things. So, I guess that's it. Be kind to yourselves.